You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
La formazione ecco la fascia di capitano con il numero 13.
Donnarumma at the double, sensational from him.
Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Teo Hernandez al gol! Teo Hernandez! Ancora lui! Una meraviglia!
Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Fuori classe assoluto!
Buonasera, everybody. Buonasera. It's already a lively group tonight, Steve P. And actually on time with a brand new video. But Steve, let's go right into it, right? Because we have lots to talk about. Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan, from a abandoned ship Milan, and the most fickle-minded group of supporters on the face of this earth. And we're not professionals,
nor do we pretend to be.
Stevie P, it's Monday night. Obviously, here when we do good or we do bad, we always have lots of viewers, lots of comments, and we are going to talk about today's game. But I just wanted to get rid of a couple of things, housekeeping. As you guys noticed, thank you to Sonny for a brand new intro video and music that he made himself. Sleepless Nights to Stevie P for Sonny, straight from Australia. And he did get his shirt today, but thank you to Sonny. He said art director, and style. That's the way his official title. But thanks to him.
Good job, Sonny.
Thank you, buddy. And on that note, speaking of shirts, I just wanted to say thanks to a couple of people. Would it be... I know. Look at this fine-looking gentleman, Stevie P. Look at Gio with the Milan Weekly Podcast T-shirt. Thanks to Gio, to Youssef, to Juan, to Tim. Who am I forgetting? But guys, thank you very much for getting the shirts. We love getting these things. So whoever gets a shirt, please let us know what they feel like, what they look like. And thanks, Gio, for being the first official model. Steve, we call him the model of the Milan Weekly Podcast.
Latino Heat.
I like it. So if you guys want to support, it's there in the comments. And thank you to Milan Club World for getting this done for us. There's no other housekeeping, is there, Steve?
No.
All right, so let's talk about it, Steve. Looking at today's game, we had no choice but to actually win from everybody's results of this week. And we come out with a big fat egg. And at the beginning, let's take it from the beginning. Looking at the starting lineup, seeing Mandzukic starting over Leao, I don't think you had a issue with that, Steve. Would you have done anything different for the starting lineup?
They had to try to change things up. Leao was just not doing it, but Mandzukic is not doing it either.
It was a little different in playing. I know he was tracking back a lot, but the way the game started, within the first minute, a great play there with Çalhanoğlu and Mandzukic, and then all of a sudden we turn around. We not even 30 seconds later. I'm sorry, that's on Bennacer, was it not, Steve? That little blunder in the midfield, and then we get caught. Do you blame anybody specifically on that one? Even the defense didn't look very great. And
tonight, don't point me into the direction of blaming one particular person. I blame Milan from head to toe. That's okay. Not just Bennacer not waking up for the game. That's Donnarumma, Kajar, Tomori, Teo Hernandez, Calabria, Bennacer, Kessie, Leao. No, not Leao. Well, Leao, he came after. Rebic, Mandzukic, the Salchicha maker, everybody. Where I'm not going to be on this podcast for an hour looking to blame people. This is Milan to be blamed from the beginning to the end of the match. And I'm going to take it to the 26 last minutes of Sassuolo, where I'm also going to blame them from head to toe. And I'm going to be very critical on Pioli. The Sassuolo game, 2 changes in that game lost us control of that game.
Which
taking
changes it.
taking out Hakan Çalhanoğlu when he probably was having probably one of his best games of the season. Hopefully, it was. I don't know if he thought that he had the game in hand at 1-0, and he wanted to save him for Lazio. Terrible. That's on Pioli. Those types of changes in that game switched that Sassuolo game, and in 26 minutes we lost 3 points. We fast forward to today. I'm not going to waste an hour of everybody's time and my time and your time trying to figure out what happened. This is Milan not getting ready for a game that could define their season. Now, am I abandoning ship? Absolutely not. There's still games to play. You do not deserve to make top 4 if you can't get ready for this type of game.
It could have very easily been like 3-0, Steve, like 25, 30 minutes in. It just looked like, at one point, it looked like we calmed down the game, and then we just had no answer. And we got outplayed, right? They looked like, Pepe Reina looked like he was Dino Zoffro from the 1970s.
But that's not an excuse. That's not an
excuse. I'm not saying it's an excuse.
No, but it's again, we're not going to waste everybody's time here. This is Milan did not get ready for this game. They knew I watched the game. I watched Napoli-Lazio. And I watched Lazio take a beating from Naples. Vinny, it's only normal that they were going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. They were going to come out with something that they had to prove. Every single player wanted to prove something. You can't make that mistake. You have time to prepare for this game. And it's so many times during the season where we have time to prepare for games and we come out and we get a goal scored on us in the first 2 minutes or in the first 15 minutes. And we're looking for excuses and, Gigio, take your money and leave. Or, Tio Hernandez, you can't play anymore. Come on.
Something mentally is not going. I know you cannot be mentally right with the skid of games that we've been since the winter stop. But looking at a guy like Tio today or Benasser, and just saying, yes, let's not point the fingers at a specific player. But when you're used to seeing them play, and it's not that these guys had 1 or 2 good games. They've had like fantastic run of games. And it's just hard to figure out like what is going on. And honestly, guys, I don't think if Ibra was on today, I don't think that would have made a big difference. I'm not sure that we would have lost 3-0, but I don't think Ibra would have been the solution today. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just frustrating to see. Fully deserved win by Lazio. Like I was saying, 3-0, and it could have been a lot more. That post in the end, and I was just chuckling to myself. I'm like, can this get any worse right now? And it's just,
but you see, like I saw the reactions of the 3-0 goal, but then if we hang back and we don't do anything, so we're stretched on the pitch. If we hang back and don't do anything, Milan is going to get the criticism where you didn't try to win. So I'm gonna throw the third goal in the garbage. That's the least of my worries.
No, I didn't mean like it could have been 4-0. I'm just saying it could have been a lot more than 3-0. I know that we did not sit back and we tried our best, but that best today was
no. We did not try our best. We didn't try. This is not trying your best. If this is trying your best, we have a serious problem.
Yeah,
this is not trying your best. This is you're not ready for the game. You cannot. You know that Lazio is a type of team where they absorb pressure and then they're going to catch you on the counterattack. Milan was getting destroyed. In 2 passes, Lazio was in front of our net and dangerous. And to all the people complaining about Gigio Donnarumma, if it's not for him, it is 4-0.
That Immobile strike there at the 2 minutes after the first one that he took it. Definitely, like people want to complain about him smiling and laughing with Reina. Guys, take it as it is.
That's social media bullshit. I'm not even gonna take anybody's precious time talking about that. That's stupidity.
trying to find something to like try to explain or look at this. Like at this point, guys, the negativity and the toxicity of the Milan fan base is right now it's at its. You know what makes me laugh, Steve? Is like, where was this toxicity in the last 10 years when we were like battling for 10th spot? It's just, oh man,
I think it was there.
It was there, but not to this level. And I
people are disappointed. I'm going to defend them to one extent. Is that people are disappointed, and I get it. You know, if you're not used to watching soccer, and I don't want to offend anybody, if you're not used to watching football for a long period of time, like I'm telling 20 plus years, you're going to have this type of reaction because the older fan base is used to the Milan. When we're in the lead, we never gave up the lead. You understand? We were at the beginning of O Campionato, the start, and if we would end up at the halfway point as champions, we would usually end up champions. The newer generation is, give me my results now. I want it now. I want fourth place now. The problem with that is in this stupid cliche that I hate, but I have no choice to say it on the podcast, is it doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish.
I'm with you on that one. It's just, you know, Anwar saying it's called le faux espoir from first to fifth, and Anwar, it's just that if the things were reversed,
we're tied.
We're tied, and we're how many teams are? And we're gonna pull it up after Steve the you know the upcoming games, and it's just that we had a small percentage of losing a couple of points, and right now there's no other choices. You have 5 games. You want to make sure you make Champions League. You got to win these 5 next games, and you got Juventus and Atalanta. And the way Atalanta's been playing in Juventus, I don't think they're going to come up with more blunders. You know, you got to show up. There's no other choices that you have to show up. And guys, don't talk to me about the VAR episode that it was a definite foul. Okay, yeah, it was a definite. Would have made a difference in the result today. What you guys thought? You guys think that we would have magically come back and maybe the game would have been changed? But just the way we played today, you know, the only thing, Steve, I was very confused about is that. He doesn't call the foul. They tell him, hey, I think you got this one wrong. And he goes back and he's like, no.
They don't tell him that you got this one wrong. They tell him you should take a look at it.
And
they're not supposed to influence the ref's decision.
But it's funny, even that the DAZN, whoever the commentators, for once are like, but that's a blatant foul. But in the end, it's not a reason for this loss, Steve. I don't think that even if they would have, that millimeter to go that offside.
If the game finishes 2-1, we're having a different conversation. If Milan even showed some sort of passion in the second half, we would have been having a different conversation. The fact of the matter is, and I will repeat for the 30th time, and I will continue repeating it this whole episode, Milan did not show up. 0. From head to toe, subs, water boy, massage therapist, the person who takes care of their cleats, the person who ties their shoelaces. This was a disgusting performance, embarrassing performance. And I'm not going to say the worst because I'm still convinced that Spezia was the worst. But this was against a team that you saw. Lazio has some quality. And, you know, I want to say congratulations to Jerry. He is a Lazio fanatic. I busted his chops about this game. And wow, did he prove me wrong. I'm going to admit it straight here. I did not think that my Milan, after laying a big, fat, stupid egg against Sassuolo, dropping 3 unnecessary points, would come out again in Rome against obviously demoralized Lazio after the Napoli game, and really, here, Lazio, take my 3 points. I don't need them. I'm Milan. I make fucking Champions League just because I'm called Milan.
Thanks for making me smile on this day, because I really am trying to stay. You know me, Steve. I'm a hopeless romantic. I still believe. I'm always going to believe until the last second. And I know.
I get it, and I believe too. The thing is that there's games that we still have to play, right? And that's what people fail to understand.
Let's look at it, right? So you're looking at Milan's, and thank you, Sonny, for this wonderful graphic here. So You got Milan playing Benevento, Juventus, Torino, Cagliari, and Atalanta. And, this is going to sound really crazy, Steve, but it's the Cagliari and Torino games that can, Cagliari is 3 wins in a row. Torino, obviously, they're going to show up against us, right? Benevento.
Well, obviously, today against Napoli, they didn't even look like they can make a 2-foot pass. So
Juventus still has Udinese. Then they have us. Inter is still playing Bologna. Lazio is at 61 points, but looking at that until the 5th. Guys, let's think about it, right? You have from 2nd to 5th spot, you have 2 points of difference. So I'm trying to stay excited. I'm trying to, even Lazio with that game in hand, right, Steve? They could still be, but they would have to put up a couple of wins in a row. But looking at everybody, is there anybody that's an advantage? Atalanta looks like, what do they have? Sassuolo, Parma, Benevento, Genoa, and then us. Do you see anybody having an advantage with these games? I don't think so, because Serie A is Serie A, and it's the last 5 games of the season, and anything can happen, correct?
In terms of form, right now, Atalanta and Napoli have the advantage over Juventus and Milan. And that 4th spot is what's up for grab. Juve, Milan, and now Lazio, we let them in the door. Today, we could have completely eliminated them. Lazio would have been not mathematically eliminated, but they could have been like way behind, even with 1 game in hand, which the stupid schedule maker put it like May 13th, almost like to the end of the season. Like
it's just I'm trying to stay positive, and it's hard. It's definitely hard, and I'm trying to stay. It's just I'm a big believer, Steve, in negativity. Brings you negativity, and I just sometimes I freak out looking at everybody's comments a bit more. Steve, we're battling for relegation. If you would have asked a couple of people today, but guys, we need to, people can make fun of us about, the bus at the beginning of the season. Hey, we like to stay positive and believe in something. Right now, we need to come together and believe in this team, right? Whether deservingly or not, or what are we going to show up? Because now we're at the point, but even if we make Champions League, we're going to suck. Guys, can we all agree? Let's just fight for this top 4 spots, and this is what we're here for. We got 5 games left. Stevie P, going through the results of this week, looking at, I don't know, did you watch Inter and Verona? A bit of controversy there, but in the end, Steve, whether they do it nicely or badly or ugly, Inter is doing exactly what Juventus were doing years back. Is no matter how they do it, they're getting those 3 points. And I think we've known for a while there that Inter is Scudetto bound. Any takeaways from this game?
No, didn't watch it.
Benevento, Udinese, Fiorentina, Juve. Did you catch that one?
Yeah, Juve is just as bad as us. That's why I still have hope, to be very honest, Joe.
They haven't been impressive. I don't think there's that one. Even Ronaldo seemed completely invisible against a team, Fiorentina, and Fiorentina seemed to, got that penalty, and obviously as soon as the game restarts, a great goal, and it stayed that way there. But no, I like what you're saying. Juventus is as bad as us. Atalanta,
they're not consistent like we are, right? So we don't know which Juventus we're gonna get. The positive thing for us is Milan's playing Juventus away. Imagine that. That's a positive for us. So I think, Juve has some things to iron out as well from here to the end of the season. But that Juve game, so the Benevento game, again, I'm saying must win because it's a game that we should have 3 points on. The Juve game now becomes a very winnable game. I think, if the Milan that we know from the beginning of the year, or let's say the later part of last year, if that team shows up, the Juve game is a very winnable game. So we're still in that race for the top 4.
We're still in this race. I'm not going to go with everybody's comments that we're still in this race, guys. I'm looking at the points because in the end, playing bad, playing good, winning ugly, in the end, it's the mathematics and looking at those numbers there. And I'm sorry, guys, you could shit on me all you want. I'm staying positive. And even if I'm the only one here with my little flag, Forza Milan. Atalanta, Bologna, Steve. Atalanta just having some fun there with the
Bologna,
5-0.
unfortunately, watched that game. Bologna just not very good. No hope in Bologna giving us any favors, that's for sure.
Then you have Sassuolo, Sampdoria, Cagliari. They wanna stay atop Serie A, Steve. They're trying to stay there, and surprising Roma and beating Roma. I don't know if you watched a bit of this game.
Like Roma have watched it, and Roma have all their eggs in the Europa League.
They got Manchester United, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. Napoli, last couple of games, Steve, that they seem to be back on track and winning these games, and 2-0 against Torino, but Torino is just completely horrible. Very bad. Even them, Steve, if they continue this way here, they could very well, if Cagliari keeps on winning, they could be relegated, and maybe that's what they need. And everybody's Belotti to Milan, and let's make top 4 before we start talking about that kind of stuff. Anything to take away from Gattuso? The rumors is that he's probably leaving at the end of the season, and what's his name is taking over? Your Spalletti's taking over.
The stars and the wind and the charisma and the scent of winning. Look, Napoli, I'm going to go back again, and I refer to this podcast a lot, and it doesn't need our endorsement there, but if you have a chance and you understand Italian, please go to get some entertainment from Bobo TV, where, they said it best. They said the problem in Naples is not, Insigne having a bad game, or Gattuso or someone, or buying or selling players. The problem at Naples is De Laurentiis, because De Laurentiis is just so much of a polarizing character that even if Gattuso makes top 4, he'll let Gattuso go. And again, that's not continuity that Naples needs. Naples needs someone there for a long time. Like they need that Sarri type of character where they're going to play that type of football. And when Sarri's there is a perfect example of what we've been saying for the longest time. These teams had that window and needed to spend, and De Laurentiis did not want to spend. So this is why you're back in that situation. So
where did he put that 90 million he got for Higuain, Steve?
Well, look, it's okay. Napoli is probably one of the healthiest clubs in terms of finances, so I don't mind that. It's good for Serie A, and it shows some. But if you want to win, you need to spend. And if you're not willing to spend, you're going to always be in this predicament where you're always blaming someone else and not looking at that problem. But spend wisely, right? You can spend. Look at Milan. We had 270 million and we fucked that shit up.
Yes,
out of 270, we got 2 good players. And I'm counting Hakan in the 2 good players. The other one was Kessie.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, I'm not. I don't. Please, people, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I'm pretty hardcore with that.
Gentlemen, we have these 5 games remaining, and in all, what needs to be happening, Stevie P, is all of the Milan players. What they need is something to revive them. Something to revive them. It's the last one of the month, gentlemen. And yes, in the perfect package, you do get the reviver. You see, this is what Milan needs. They need the reviver, Steve. They need to revive their youth and their playing style of the first first half. After they revive, they need to preserve. Making sure preserving that top 4 spots. Just give us 4 spots in there, and you need to trim the competition. Correct, Steve? We just need to go through the competition this way here. But thank you to Manscaped. Look.
I got a nice box.
Yes.
So I bought some stuff.
What do you got there?
And I used MWP. See that?
Oh.
Crop cleanser. Body wash and hair.
Ooh,
body wash and shampoo. I bought myself the foot duster.
The foot duster.
To take out all that smell of the shit performance that we had today. And of course, crop preserver all the time. Need that. Keep your balls nice and moist. Don't get a bruschkat in between the legs. Manscaped people, a bruschkat means chafing.
Gentlemen, it is right now sponsored, manscaped.com. Take a look. MWP, get 20% off and free shipping. Yusuf, you still have to let me know what we need to ship you out there, because Yusuf does not know how to use promo codes for t-shirts. But thank you to them for sponsoring us, and hopefully we'll continue this relationship. Stevie P, are we ready for questions?
Shoot.
All right, so let's take it over to Patreon, and thank you to I love it how Mike, I guess his name is Mike Minkia, because he kind of played a play on his word, but joining Patreon when Milan is losing. So thank you, Mike, and he did send us a question. David Gorasho, with today's loss in the books, what do you think would hurt more, Milan coming this close and not making the Champions League, or making the Champions League by the skin of their teeth, and then having UEFA sanction them for the involvement of the Super League? What would be worse, Steve?
First of all, UEFA is not sanctioning any of those teams because they didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
the league didn't start. I repeat, the fucking stupid Super League didn't start. So they're not going to get sanctioned. They're going to I want them to make the Champions League by the skin of their teeth. And then we'll see what happens after. But, I keep on seeing this stuff, and my indigestion of the week is really, hey, Milan really they shit the bed. There was absolutely no heart in this game. They really, really did not show up for this Lazio game. That's my indigestion of the week. I have another indigestion outside of Milan, is those stupid teams that they wrote a letter to the league. You have to penalize the teams that were involved in the Super League. They fucking weren't involved. The league never started, Christ. And you stupid losers who wrote the letter. Loser clubs. I'm calling you loser clubs because in 10 years, it's only Juve that won the Scudetto. And in 10 years, Milan, Inter, Juventus bring you fucking money. I'm going to be... now I'm pissed off now. I'm pissed off.
I didn't see it's just like the people saying that we stopped after hearing our fans, we stopped and reconsidered joining the Super League.
No, this is bullshit.
Fuck you. This is not about the fans.
It's bullshit. I shared a fantastic video that was provided by Facebook Frank. The English people and I forget his names. I think it was Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes.
It's exactly what I told you guys last week. And I'm really, 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 really adamant about this. Stop being naive about this bullshit, guys. The fans, we did sweet fuck all to stop the Super League. Sweet fuck all.
May I did it last week, Steve, but may I read the Curva Sud's press release when this all came out?
You can, but it's not going to change anything. They didn't change anything.
I just love what they said. Just saying, football did belong to the people until the 90s, when Champions League was born, destroying the old European Cup. From that moment, an unbreachable chaos has been created between the big and the small clubs. Football did belong to the people, even when nobody lifted a finger to stop the increase of ticket prices that was imposed by some presidents. Football did belong to the people, even when nobody stepped in to stop the rise of the super agents who took player salaries to astronomical figures, which could only be sustained with TV rights, the same TV companies that imposed increasingly chaotic fixture lists. Football did belong to the people, even when rules were imposed to stop any rapport between the players and the fans. Football did belong to the people, even when Super Cup finals were played on other continents or the dates of some games were changed a few days before kickoff, damaging those fans who had booked trains or planes to get to the stadium. Football did belong to the people, even when some clubs were allowed to circumvent financial fair play, while others with less influential presidents were penalized. Football did belong to the people, even when the World Cup was forced to Qatar in 2022, despite moving the entire calendar and disregarding human rights violations. The Super League is just the latest disgusting step, but those who took football to this point are no less grotesque. So save us these ludicrous performances of rhetoric and morality. Now that the money is running out, feel free to fight it between yourselves, but don't you dare name the fans. And that's what I like. And that's what Barnes was basically saying is stop thinking that you fans want something. Because in the end, if there was money to be made and they were able to make it happen, right? So
And
I just love those words. I wanted to read them out
they
again.
were, that's very good. And the sad part about it is that no one else but the fans are going to read that, and no one else but the fans are going to care about that. And unfortunately, like, we have to understand that it's always about money. It's always the business. We spent the whole day, Vinny, sitting back watching our Milan Club Montreal chat go shit face over this. I myself, when I was younger, like, I really took it to, I still take it to heart. Like, Milan loses and I ruin my day.
Yeah.
But now life has changed for me, you understand? Like, I have distractions. I have, like, my daughter. I have my son. Some people don't have that distraction. That's what people don't understand. And they take it to heart and they take it to another level, right? Like, but
like, their sentiments are going to be heard by these billionaires.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, there's nothing that I can control. Like, today I got an honest to God call from Francis. And he's like, "Are you nervous?" And I said to him, I said, "You know what, Francis? I'm not really nervous." "Yeah, but I was in your position. I know how it feels. I couldn't see." I said, "Francis, I can't play the game for them, Francis.
Yeah.
I cannot play the game. If they lose, it really gives me great content for tonight. If they win, it really gives me great content for tonight. And I don't fuck up my day. But they lose, and hey, what do you want me to do? I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed off of the way they lost. That's what bothers me." And again, at the beginning of the season, it was not, I love the Fantas, I love the Fantas, I love them. But I couldn't get on the bus. I couldn't get on the bus because this team still has a lot of growing to do. It's a very young team. We are and still are missing pieces. I want to just for a second before I forget, because Mike Capi, the Juventino, he brought up a good point. We talk about fans. I'm going to add, for the first time I think I've ever had this, a third indigestion. And I'm going to give it to the Juventus fans. Not only are they maybe 1A, 1B with Milan fans and how polar they are, and I'm pretty sure it happens, and there is some stupidity from the Milan fans. I don't think that we are all perfect, because no one's perfect.
No.
But sending DMs through Instagram to Pirlo's son saying, "You should die with your father," is absolutely crossing the line. And Mike wanted to know what we think about that. For me, Mike, it's no jersey anymore. It's I'm outside of football.
Yeah,
I'm outside of sport. I'm outside of character of Steve on the Milan Weekly podcast. For me, that is other human disgustingness.
That's
If the
Juve
fans really wanted to be like the letter that the Curva Sud wrote, the Juve fans would find the guy who sent that and make him do a live on Instagram apologizing, because that is disgusting. You go to, that's like someone going to my Gianfranco, my son, and saying, "You know what? You should die with your father because your father does Milan Weekly podcast and he shits on Juve or he's not good."
You just said it, right? It's that, you have distractions in your life. You have a family, you have your wife, your kids. They lost, they sucked. We have a podcast, we talk, and then c'est fini. These guys are just taking it to like, no, I'm going to take it to the other level. And guys, it's not just Juventini fans, because Milan fans have been known to do these kind of stupidities. You've crossed the line. No matter what I think personally of Pirlo or now you're gone into the guy's family and his son. Yeah. This is, and this, the Super League did it for the fans. Fuck you. This is just appalling. And these are only the ones that we hear about, Steve. Right?
Yeah. And that guy has to understand. And it's something that, I talk about with my kids, because not that I know that they look at social media, they look at TikTok, they look at YouTube. And as much as I want to control them, I need to make my kids understand and parents and fans and brothers and sisters and everybody. You have to make people understand that once you post that, that thing is there forever.
Yeah.
It's online forever. Forever. So that Juventini fan, he is on there forever going towards someone who played for Juve for a period of time where Juve was the most successful, and basically said, I don't care what you did. He's to blame for the team not having a good performance, and he should die, and his son should follow him and die too. Where that is normal in this world, guys, that makes me want to quit everything.
Yeah.
That makes me want to shut off this and not look at a computer anymore. That wants me to go to the bird app, close the bird app, close Instagram.
And that's not trolling, guys. That's not trolling. That guys that will comment on our YouTube, Steve, comments against you, whatever. That's trolling. That's fine, right? This is not trolling, and this is completely unacceptable. And I hope this person, because that's a death threat, guys. I don't give a shit about behind the keyboard. No. That's a death threat, and it's completely.
Anyways, thank you, Mike, for bringing that up again. I completely forgot about that.
And to Mike, I think I have it on my notes, but the Curva Sud, if you just do a Google search. Curva Sud a letter on Milan news.it. That's where I got it from. Husney, I stopped watching after the second goal. What the fuck is happening to this team? Lazio got their ass whooped and have a comeback performance. We're slipping further and further away. Big baller Brian Husney, I know, but you cannot stop watching after the second goal, because even after the second goal, I know it hurts, but you needed to continue, buddy. Peter, Gary Amici, do we suck? Real question though is do we even keep Pioli at this point for next season? I think if you make Champions League, Steve, you have to, because even like say today you don't blame anybody. I get you blaming most of the blame against Sassuolo on Pioli, because I do agree with you with those changes, but today he's a puppet. It's everybody, but do you keep him? If you do keep him, and you go get that one or two players, I don't think you're not sending that message that we want to make that move. You know, people are talking about the Contes and the Jurgen Klopps and these $12 to $15 million coaches a year. Okay, yeah, but first of all, we're not going to get that caliber of coach. We don't have that kind of money. But at this point, Steve, it's going to be 3 years. You got to keep him, right?
Look, it depends. A lot of people today they came up and they brought up the whole, Pioli's been at X club and lasted had a good start and a crap finish. Good start and a crap finish. Like, it's a trend, and I get it. But here, I think he found something else. I think he found somewhere where they're trusting in him, and I think that. We can't make that mistake again where if we make top 4, bringing in someone new, I think it's a bad message. But Pioli has to up his game too. Because they tactically, Simone and Zaghi ate him for dinner.
Again, against these 3-man defense, right,
yeah.
Steve? It just looks like
I don't think it's the 3-man defense, to be very honest. Everybody says it's the 3-man defense. It's not the 3-man defense. It's the 5 in the midfield. It's those 5 in the midfield dominating his double pivot.
But you do agree a lot of the teams that we play with these formations. So you're saying it's not the 3-man defense, it's the actual 5 midfielders that would it be Lazio?
5 midfielders outplaying our 5 midfielders. And they can tactically...
And we have no answer.
Well, we don't have the depth to answer. We don't answer. We just... I don't see anything from him.
Throw shit at the wall and hope for the best. That's what it's been against these... I don't know.
It's very hard. It's very hard. I watch and I still can't understand. Like today, obviously, I know you're not going to give up possession. So, hey... people who say, we're getting on the counter, we're getting attacked on the counter. The problem is that we have possession, we get to the final third, and we have no ideas. And it's a complete stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
We build a nice build up. We do this, we do that. Then when it comes time to shoot, we'll hit every possible defender. We're gonna get him directly on there, right? We can't hit the broadside of a barn, but
it's because they're not finding they're not finding that person or taking on that person. And you know what? Today, I'm gonna give him some props. When Dalot came into the game today, he produced something on that right hand side. And it was a great catch by someone on Twitter. And again, I always forget, and I don't want to take credit for this, but it was a great catch because they said when Dalot came in, we were providing dangerous crosses. The big problem is Mandzukic was already subbed out.
It's a good point. I mean, Mandzukic,
in the box, you had Brahim Diaz. So Brahim Diaz right now is, he's maybe 5'2". I don't know. I don't even want to make fun of his height, but he's
a small guy.
He's a small guy who's not going to win you a lot of chances there. So that tactically, there's a problem. And you put Leao in there, and he doesn't want to get his hands dirty either. I see Ibrahim, in the comments saying, can we talk about Pioli insisting on playing Leao? There's no one else, though, Ibrahim. That's the problem. Today, he tried with Mandzukic. And
I got no problem with that. Yeah,
and I don't have any problem with that either. But we have no one else.
There was that great setup play. I don't know if you remember Sausage Maker, and then from a volley from Mandzukic, he almost went in, but that was it. And at one point, I remember I saw him defending. Mandzukic was back there defending. For me, okay, I love seeing that in a player, but Mandzukic, you're our striker. You're supposed to be like a la Ibra. You're nice and tall, stay up front, right? But he showed to me, even though he did not produce, Steve, he shows a lot more emotion on the pitch. I don't know if you caught the camera when he was sitting on the bench and he was completely zoned out, like he was just like in the abyss there. But we'll see where this leads. But yeah, like you're saying, Steve, what are we gonna put? We don't have any other strikers. Anwar, from hero to zero, just embarrassing, and honestly, we look like Kievo at best. Horrible to watch, and Pioli is seriously out of ideas. I don't want to pinpoint players, but the key ones must be judged responsibly. I think the administration did not work enough to keep the momentum we had going. The transfer did not meet our needs. Players refusing to extend the Super League, and everything seems cracking now. I think Pioli cannot take us to the next level, even with the better quality players. I really hope the ownership will dig some out of their pockets now that financial fair play will be partially lifted next year. How do you see this team bounce back, guys, for the remaining games with this much pressure on them now? They got to bounce back the way they bounced back in the way they played in the first games. And Steve, you're going to need Ibra on there. I'm not just saying for scoring goals, just as a general on the pitch. I don't know. He's saying he doesn't want to pinpoint players, as you were saying, but he does not see Pioli taking us to the next level. But how do they bounce back, Steve? Il ritiro.
I don't know. Maybe Pioli picks up the phone and he asks Simone Inzaghi. Because Lazio bounced back from an embarrassing loss against the Naples. That game could have been 7-8 nothing, guys. I watched that game, 7-8 nothing. That's how much Naples destroyed them. And you know what? Milan, today, we need that type of game, not only against Benevento. It has to continue at Juve, and it has to continue after that, and it has to build the momentum. And the key right now is, as we get closer to the end of the season, for me in the fixture result, I see the Juve-Inter game. That's the second last game of the season. In theory, Inter will have absolutely nothing to play for.
You know what that means. But
that's at our disadvantage. Right?
But Inter wouldn't just lay over for
Juventus. I'm not saying that, but they have nothing to play for. They're going to be, at that point in time, they're going to be already, unless a complete crumble, Scudetto champions.
Oh, man.
No one's going to be able to catch them.
Gio, nothing much to say, but keep up the great work, guys. Seeing this team crumble has me gutted. I love this young team, but they are not loving me back. All we did was just show up to be the other team on the pitch. No heart. Lulic looked faster than Mbappe. The way he was covering space to defend, just disappointed. Saturday we go again. I love how he's like, we just showed up to be the other team on the pitch. And Lulic, I love Gio, but even him, like he's wants to stay positive. Always on our Patreon therapy sessions, but you share his sentiments, Steve. You just got it, but on to Saturday, right?
You have to move on. The quicker they can erase this game from the memory, the better it is. But the newspapers won't let them. Justfully so, the newspapers will not let them forget this.
Andre saying anywhere Pioli worked, he has now a half season coach. I think this you were mentioning too about Steve. It happened with Inter and Fiorentina. Everywhere he made a decent first half season and then collapsed the second. Is it responsible to fire him now? And who's that guy to shake up the squad? Definitely not for me. Who is better for off season, to go all in for real world class coach or try another luck to invest the players? We did touch base on this one here, Steve, but I just want to touch base. Pioli didn't start this season, right, guys? He took over from last year. So I get the comparison from what he's saying, but for me, about it to his question, Steve, would you go for that world-class coach or invest in other players?
The world-class coach has to come and will only come if Milan finish in those top 4 spots. Do I think Pioli is going to win us the Champions League? No. But we need some consistency to get into Champions League. And he needs to be able to get at least, if he does make Champions League, he needs to be able to at least prove that he can get some type of result. I know that people, they like to look in the past. But guys, we took on Carlo Ancelotti after Parma. He coached at Parma, after he coached at Juventus and did not succeed. But Carlo Ancelotti came to Milan, and Milan built a team for Carlo Ancelotti. Now, I'm not comparing Ancelotti, which is my favorite manager, to Pioli. Absolutely not. But you have to be able to forget the past. Like, now it's easy to look in the future. How come these people weren't looking in the future last year or at the beginning of this year? But now it's easy to look up the past. So now, but 4 years ago, like now, he passed that window. Now, has he reached a ceiling and a wall? Maybe. Can we do better than Pioli as a coach and as a tactician? Absolutely, yes.
I say bring back the turtleneck. That's what I think. To Mike, our brand new Patreon, he says these group therapy sessions are becoming a little too frequent. We need these group therapy sessions, especially that we've been playing. Let's be honest, we were always an overachieving team and we hit our plateau. Timing sucks, but it is what it is. When our hopes for a spark from the bench comes in for the former Leao, we know we're screwed. If we don't get a result against Benevento and Juve, makes it hard to justify keeping Pioli. I hate saying that because I'm a firm believer in consistency in the coaching position. But if you can't motivate your guys enough when it counts, what's the point? Today's performance clearly lacked a ton of grinta. Timing sucks, he says, but I like that when our hopes for a spark from the bench comes in the form of Leao, we know we're screwed. It shows a lot, right? And that's the Steve, is that the... Anyways, what do you think of Mike's comments on this one?
I agree. From the beginning of the year, when we started, again, I want this, this is forever, and I have tons of episodes before this that could say exactly what I'm going to say now. My goal was top 4.
You said it from the beginning.
I was not going to get too high. I was not going to get too low. If we didn't finish from the beginning, starting the beginning of the year, if we didn't finish in the top 4, would it have been a disappointment? Yeah, but I was going to be able to digest it a bit, like we have done for the past 10 years, right?
Yep.
But the way we started and what we did as a team and how they built and how they got to first place and stayed there for 22 weeks, to just throw it down the drain because we're lapsing in some concentration and some people don't want to put the. I'm going to say it. They're not putting that extra effort. A young buck like Leao, and I harp on him too because I know and I believe that the talent is there. When it's your turn, when they call your number, and you go on to the field and you mope around or you walk around and you're not doing your part, I don't want you on my team.
Well said. The Fantas, Steve. After a few miles on 4 flat tires, the Scudetto bus skid off the road and exploded. The volume of alcohol on board accelerated the blaze. There were no survivors. A sad end to a promising season. Normally, I'm the optimist who believes until the end and beyond, but I fear Milan have reached a point of no return this season and will need more than a little luck to make top 4. Insult to injury after the Super League debacle. Regardless of the current situation, it could only ever be about the colors. Forza Milan, sempre ovunque. David, you got to stay positive with me. I know it's hard right now. I know you lost the bus. I hope the insurance is going to pay for it. Damn alcohol. But Steve, is it alarming that even our good friend David, he just seems to be he says need more than just a little luck, more than just luck.
They need some good performances, and I agree. It's no more luck involved. It's take care of your own business. And unfortunately, I took some time last Friday just to look at and jot down some results that I think were going to happen there. And I had 3 points with Sassuolo, and I was a little bit pissed off I didn't get that. I had at least a tie with Lazio, and we didn't get that either. Now I'm looking at Benevento win. The Juve. I had against Lazio. If I checked my papers, I had a loss. I didn't think that we were going to be able to come up for this one, and man, I wish I would have been a betting man, but I'm not. But against Juventus, I have a win. And I truly believe that this Milan, the beginning of the season, Milan can beat this Juventus, and I think that will be a turning point if they can get the result that they a deserved result against Juventus. I think that Milan's season is not over yet, and I think top 4. I still believe that they can make top 4. We're just making it really, really, really complicated.
But still Benevento before that. So no easy points until then. And Fabio says, hey, boys, do we think all the contract talks from the main players has any negative effects on this team's recent form? Also, did Mandzukic score? So that's the little bet that he's got with the David. David was all excited. He's like, I can't imagine he scores. But David, it looks like you're going to be sending a Milan Weekly podcast T-shirts to Fabio from Long Island. But Steve, these talks of contracts, is it maybe a small factor of the team performing this way? I don't think we've gone through seasons where there's contract talks.
It's more excuses. It's excuses. If we would be in second place right now, 1 point away, no one would bring that up. So,
taking it over to the Twitter machine. Massimo saying, can't blame one person. The entire team and staff have to get their shit together. We looked lost from the first minute. We need to start looking at better game preparations because we just don't look ready to win. Taking the words out of your mouth, right, Steve? Just being more prepared?
Lazio was extremely prepared.
Gigi La Patate, so many reasons, but at the end, the team that wants it badly and leaves everything on the field wins. From the first minute to the end, Milan was just not in it for any way, shape, or form. Colossal, Tottenham-style, bottle chop. Gigi La Patate, speaking the truth here, right? You didn't... He says, leave everything on the field, they win. We didn't leave anything.
We didn't even get to the field. We didn't even make it to the field, Gigi.
Like Gigi was saying, we just showed up to be the other team, right? And Aram saying, exciting the way, no matter how it ends, exciting weeks. And in some ways, that is what football is all about. Aram, thank you. This is what it's all about, right? He's just showing a graphic of all the remaining games. So it will be these exciting next couple of weeks. So let's be excited about this. Let's start, thinking about this season starts, next week. We gotta win these games here. So thank you, Ram, for at least a glimmer of positivity. Who else do we have here? Eddie Milanista saying Pioli is at fault is justifiable, but not 100% true. Hakan looked like he had 1,000 thoughts running through his head and couldn't stay clinical. Our players are mentally drained. Ibra can't stay on the pitch to bail us out. Milan needed reinforcement, but got Mario Mandzukic. It's a couple of comments that we hear that, the winter mercato, we were on a high, and it's like, okay, we just got these people. Yeah, I remember you being pretty critical at one point that, we needed striker. We went to get a center back, but it could be this coming back and biting us in the ass. No, Steve?
Oh, it already bit us in the ass.
Good.
He gambled. Go back to that episode, and
he gambled.
Maldini gambled with a low risk, high reward Mandzukic signing. And I'm seeing in the comments a lot of things why Leao gets the most flack. Leao gets the most, and I think it's from Dominic. So Leao gets the most flack, especially from me, because the talent is there, but the effort and the body language is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
And he compares the other players, like, he's saying Ibra's been injury prone. Well, that's what happens, Dominic, when you're 39 years old, and, the injuries will happen. And Ibra also has like 500 goals on Leao. So we're not going to be, and when we need to be critical on Ibra, trust me, I will be critical on Ibra. I'm pretty sure he doesn't watch the show. Pretty sure. The other comments that he has, Tomori and Romagnoli haven't been the best. They have not been the best. And when they have not been the best, we've also been critical of Romagnoli and Tomori. But there is some grinta there. There is some grinta that you don't see in Leao. You don't see, Romagnoli and Tomori, they will make mistakes, but it seems like the soccer IQ is there. And I'm going to add Benacer too. Ever since he came back from the injury, those players making mistakes, we go to them, we do critique, but it's a different critique. For me, it's a lot of body language, right? And from Leao, his body language drives me so crazy because it's nonchalant. It's almost disinterest. Now, it may be just me overreacting, but
Steve, it's like people have called you a broken record about Leao in the comments, but in reality, that's why I'm not shitting on Mandzukic, because I do not see that body language. When you're saying Tomori, 3 weeks ago, we had to sign him at $100 million. Romagnoli's got shit on, but Romagnoli, maybe a couple of games we saw, but that it's just the body language of the actual player. Are you going to say anything about Frank Kessie's body language? That's what it comes down to. Like when we're talking about this whole green, Rebic is, you just see him. Robo Rebic is, even at that point, it was against Sassuolo, Steve, that he's going crazy trying to get the ball again. You just see Leao there's on the side, and he's just, wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's the comment of the night.
Definitely,
Leao is the Pennellici of the team.
Taking it over to Giovanni Milano saying, can't single out anybody, full squad collapse, unacceptable, taking Steve's words out of his mouth. Aram, he's referring to the Donnarumma laughing after the game. We spoke about that one. Guys, let's not read it too much into that one. Dark Knight saying Pioli hasn't had a clue what to do for a good 3 months. Should have went with Ragnick when we had a chance. Time to restart the project again. I don't agree there, Dark Knight. I don't think
disagree.
It's easy to say. It's easy to say at this point of the season, but I don't think even Mourinho, with the players that we have right now, could have maybe had a better performance. Maybe different tactics, but no, Ragnarok would not have been the solution. And everybody's just saying, the starting 11 was the issue. Farino saying Pioli once more shows up against a team with 3 at the back. Pioli once more shown up against a team with 3 at the back, unable to adapt tactically. At one stage, Milan were crossing to Brahim after he was withdrawn. Mandzukic, obviously the players were poor. Basically everybody's comments, Steve, are really what you were saying throughout the whole podcast. Maritza saying everyone and I don't want to hear first place. We're just not good enough, not even for Europa League. Then Hakan, Donnarumma, they're all lazy, haven't played for the badge and love for 4 or 5 months. Gigi, the captain, laughing at the end. What the fuck? Guys, Mauriz, bella madonna. Be mad at the performance. Don't start shitting on Hakan, Donnarumma. They're all lazy. We're not good for the Europa League. I can get the frustration, but let's move on from this game that, they're playing for the badge and love for 4 or 5 months. I get the frustration, but don't You're entitled to feel the way you feel, but Steve, what do you say to comments like that?
Yeah, but it's wrong. Then you're not supposed to be entitled to jump on say that we're in first place when we are in first place. You understand? Be all hyped. The season is not sample sizes.
Yeah.
You can't be, and I get the fan of it, and that's why I like to look at the complete season after whatever position we come in. We need to understand that the season is very long. There's a lot of things that change. Again, I can't stress the fact that last year we had a break in between the season. For a very thin team like Milan, that was like starting fresh. That was resting guys who might have been somewhat injured. Okay, I get it was in pandemic mode. But this year there was not that break. And we see how thin we are on the bench and how we don't have that second wave of players to come on to make a difference.
Yeah.
And we always compare to the changes. And you know what? The Lazio team, they don't have that either. But they're in a point now where they came prepared. Now it's all about preparation and mindset. Milan put in a lot of mental and physical effort in the beginning of the season.
Yes,
at a certain point, it's going to catch up to you.
We spoke about it, right, Steve? We're going to hit a lull at one point. We just didn't expect this lull to be this long, but the inexperience, the not signing, the winter transfer, the gambling, as you're saying, and this time the gamble didn't bring fruition, right? So I think we got one last one here on the Twitter machine, and saying, was I watching professional soccer fighting for top 4 on Sunday morning beer league? The effort and fight for a team trying to make top 4 was a joke, and this is from someone who has been keeping positive all year. That's from Strons0770. Got to keep the faith, buddy. Got to keep the faith, but definitely everybody's entitled to be disappointed today. Steve P, you had like 3 indigestions. Do you have anything else, or can I give mine?
Today, there's absolutely no other indigestions. I want to answer. I saw a lot of the questions. There's I'm going to screw up his name, but it's okay. Anwar. Anwar. He
from
wants
Patreon.
To know, oh, okay. Anwar. Peace. Everybody wants to know Hogue. Guys, would Hogue really have made a difference?
But he's asking why isn't he doesn't play him?
Because I don't think Hogue is ready. I said that already against Sampdoria. I don't think Hogue is ready. It is a young player who needs to. I get he needs to play, but maybe the winter transfer would have tried to maybe loan him out. And I've read something that they're thinking of maybe loaning him out next year. I think that would be amazing for his development. But Hogue came from a league which was, I don't want to be disrespectful to the league, less tactical than that of what is Serie A right now. So,
and he's got to have his reasons. Like I know that if we think about Hulk Hauge from the beginning when he scored those goals, but guys, all the other times that he showed up, right? And I think it's easy for us to think about him because everybody else has been playing like shit, right? So why don't we try him? So guys, if we were winning, Hulk Hauge wouldn't be touching the pitch right now. And but they did say they don't want to sell him. They definitely want to give him some minutes. So maybe next year, but only Pioli knows and why he's not playing. I don't know.
Again, on a completely healthy Milan, Ibra plays up top, and on the left-hand side, Rebic plays.
That's true.
So Hogue is not taking Rebic's place, guys. And we talked about it during the year. Could it be that Leao is confused because we've been moving him all around? Maybe. But I think that should have been something positive for his development, not negative. And I think that Leao's ceiling is much higher than Hogue. So I understand why they're playing Leao. But, if I would be the coach, if I would put on my Pioli hat in terms of body language, if I'd have to replace Rebic on the left, I would try Hogue. But I know what I'm getting out of him, right? Because I don't think he's ready right now.
Fazal saying the top scorer in the Europa League. Yeah, but top scorer against which teams, Fazal? Against teams that, when we needed to score, we needed to score. And anyways, Joe, I'm going to go.
Top scorer.
What did he score? 2 goals in the Europa League?
I don't know, but come on, buddy. You got to watch some soccer then. Like I get it. That's the point I'm trying to prove. You understand? Like, those teams in Europa League, it's a different competition than Serie A. What was his name again? What was his name? Fazal. Yeah. Fazal. Go on to DSLN or go on to whatever streaming that you use. Go watch the Sampdoria game. You're going to say, hey, Steve, but Hogue scored a goal. But Hogue also got outplayed by 39-year-old Candreva for the first 15 minutes of the 25 minutes that he played.
You got to look at both.
That's not the guy that I want to. That's not the guy that I want to play right now. And again, this is a young team. I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm not saying that he cannot develop into something good. I'm saying right now he's not ready.
I'm gonna go, Steve, with my indigestion. De Zerbi before the Sassuolo game. If it was up to me, I wouldn't go to Milan. If they want me to go play Milan, the president can ask me. Maybe I'm disgusted and I don't want to go play it. Who the fuck are you, De Zerbi, saying shut your fucking mouth, go do your job as a coach and let the politics and the money, did he say anything after they won that game after that? No. I don't want to go. And it's like, seriously, man, like I just found like that comment was not needed whatsoever, right? So that was
every single one of the coaches should have shut their mouth. And I'm talking about Mihailovic too. I'm talking about Genoa's coach. Everybody should have shut their mouth. Everybody should have said, "I have no comments. I'm not in the Superliga." That would have been the best response.
Any Brioshki, Steve, for this week? Any feel good moment?
I have absolutely no feel good moment. I'm just really, really pissed off at Milan's performance. It ruined the rest of my day. And
about Ibra?
I have to be honest.
Ibra saying that he wants to stay for life. That's the only thing that not that it came as a surprise, but now he's getting investigated because he's part of a gambling scheme. And guys, as you can see, I'm tired. Stevie P is tired. Thank you for staying with us again. 75 live viewers at the same time. I hope we keep on entertaining you guys. Check out again Milan Weekly Podcast T-shirt, the Hakan. And Steve, I spoke to Milan Club Turkey today, and he gave me the proper pronunciation, and you'll be surprised. It's exactly the way you pronounce it.
I knew it.
And gentlemen, to Manscaped as well. Go check them out, 20% off. And to David Fante, rest in peace to the bus. Hopefully, we can get a Winnebago for next year. And get some more people on there with personal bar and the first lady there with the all inclusive Winnebago. Stevie P, any closing words?
If you read this before the show ends, please don't get out of StreamYard when you are done. I want to test something with you. Signed, Marcello.
You know that he was on when I logged in. He was on, but I don't understand. So, guys. We are being called to duty, guys. Thank you so very much for joining. And we'll see each other next Monday, Stevie P and I. And stay tuned because we probably will have another group therapy session because we all need it. Because we definitely need it. Ovunque e sempre, gentlemen.
Forza Milan.
Buonasera.